All right, folks, 1 minute. Get your coffee, your water, your pie, your salad. All right, welcome back, welcome back. I hope everyone had an enjoyable lunch break. And I'd also like to say to the people in the room that I haven't met yet, I hope to meet you by the end of TLI. And for those of you who have walked by me and given me a thumbs up, thank you for the support. Our next speaker is Distinguished Toastmaster Russell Drake. Russell L. Drake is a highly esteemed leader and author. With his background in speech communications from Case Western Reserve University, along with graduate studies at Kentucky State University, Russell brings a wealth of knowledge to his audiences. His experience as a distinguished Toastmaster and as a former international director on the board of Toastmasters International has shaped his leadership approach, which emphasizes emotional intelligence and intentional communication. Throughout his career, Russell has authored a range of books that include poetry, photography, and insightful works of leadership and personal growth, contributing to the field with practical guidance and inspiring stories. Russell's dedication to advancing leadership development is reflected not only in his involvement with Toastmasters International, but also in the impact of his books. His works have empowered countless emerging leaders with tools to cultivate self-awareness, empathy, and resilience, skills that are indispensable for today's leaders. His readers and peers alike commend his ability to distill complex concepts into actionable steps, making him a sought-after speaker and mentor. Today, we are thrilled to announce that Russell's new book, The Owl and the Great Tree, a primer on leader development, is set for release in early 2025. This book promises to offer fresh insights into leadership, exploring themes of collaboration, adaptability, and self-reflection through a compelling narrative. Please join me in welcoming Distinguished Toastmaster, past International Director, Russell Drake, as he speaks on your leadership superpower. Thank you, sir.
Am I on? I am on. All right. So, there's something that has to be done at every Toastmasters meeting, is that we have to reaffirm why we're here. And to do that, we have to do that through our mission. So this is going to be the first third of the room right here. This long table right here is the second part, and then this is the third section over here. All right, so our mission is we empower individuals to become more effective communicators and leaders. That's our mission. So what we're going to do over here, this group is going to be we empower individuals. Let's hear it.
We empower individuals.
Ready, Kathy? To become more effective.
To become more effective.
Communicators and leaders.
Communicators and leaders. We empower individuals to become more effective. Communicators and leaders. We empower individuals to become more effective. Communicators and leaders.
Give yourselves a hand. So today today I want to share with you a leadership superpower that's often overlooked: emotional intelligence. As emerging leaders, club officers, you're stepping into roles where you're going to influence others, and it becomes critical. But what if I told you that success is not just about being the most knowledgeable or having the best strategy, but it's also about managing and understanding ourselves, managing our emotions and those of others. Emotional leadership, emotional intelligence is the heart of effective leadership. And so today, I'll tell you and show you how it's going to change your leadership journey. But first, we need to ground ourselves in the foundation of emotional intelligence with self-awareness. Now, self-awareness is one of the most important qualities that any leader can cultivate. To lead others, you've got to understand yourself. Now, we're going to take a 10-second think with this question. Why is self-awareness important to leaders? You have 10 seconds to think about it. I'm going to take one hand from in the house, and if we have any on one on chat, we'll do that. So, one person, tell me why. Yes?
If you don't understand how you feel about something or someone, there's no way that you can extend that understanding to understand someone else.
In order to understand others, we have to understand ourselves. Yes? Do you have anything in the chat? Is some okay, go ahead.
Russell, for me, until you can lead yourself, you cannot lead others.
I agree with that 100%. Okay. So the other answer, my answer, is because our emotional state doesn't exist in a vacuum. It affects how we make decisions, how we relate to others, and ultimately, how we lead. Now, back in the old days when I was working, I worked in human resources. And our business unit promoted the top salesman in the unit. This guy was smart, he was articulate, and he took care of customers. There was only one problem. As a salesperson, calm and collected. As a manager, had a hair trigger. Anybody have a manager that just goes off in a second? That was the issue. And so, whenever there would be meetings, and if the forecast didn't meet his standard, he'd just go off. His folks were just, they weren't afraid of him, but they just kind of disengaged. And so, the more they disengaged, the more frustrated he became. The more frustrated he became, the more they disengaged. Now, fortunately for him, our management team said there's still some potential here, even though he's got this temper. So we had a place that we called finishing school. It was the Center for Creative Leadership in Greensboro, North Carolina. So this guy, I'll call him Tizzle. We sent Tizzle to finishing school. And there he was introduced to the concept of emotional intelligence and self-awareness. And so what he figured out is that he wasn't really angry at his folks. He was just stressed out by his own standards and taking on the responsibility of management. Once he was able to identify his own triggers, he was better able to work with his team. So he comes back to his department, and naturally, folks, they're a little hands off. Once burned, twice shy, or whatever that thing is. And so finally, he was able to convince them that he had changed. And because he changed, his department became very productive. And he became a more collaborative leader. So here's the takeaway. I want you to write this down. You know I am. You gotta write this down. Self-awareness helps leaders recognize patterns in their behavior and adjust accordingly. I'll do it again. Hopefully I can say it the same way twice. Self-awareness helps leaders recognize patterns in their behavior and adjust accordingly. So self-awareness helps us make better decisions, relate to others, and create an environment where our teams can thrive. Now, there's another essential quality that goes along in emotional, intelligent leadership, and that's empathy. Empathy allows us to step into someone else's shoes and look at the world from a different perspective. There's a CEO, his name is Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. When he took over Microsoft, it was a toxic but competitive atmosphere. Everybody's working in silos. Even some folks might have been sabotaging other departments. No one will admit to that. Now, has anybody worked in an environment where folks is just going to do their job and they're not going to help the people beside them, that type of? Has anybody brave enough to put their hand? No one's done. Oh, thank you, Lord have mercy. I would say this is perfect. You guys are in Toastmasters. Everything is great. This is a great world. We're doing okay. But the fact is that Nadella saw that things needed to change. And his idea was to lead with empathy. So he went in and started talking to his associates, his employees, to ask about them, not only about how they're doing, and then come back to what they're doing. Because ordinarily, I'm just saying, that coming up in the 1970s management, it's like, this is what you're doing. Your personal life, keep that separate, just do the job, and then just kind of keep it moving. That's what it was when I was coming up through the 70s and 80s. It came into our management team. But what Nadella was able to do, he was able to create a more collaborative environment, and that's what has moved Microsoft forward. The other thing is that he demonstrated that empathy is not just a soft skill, but it's a multiplier. The idea is that it helps us foster a sense of belonging and shared purpose. Nadella was able to get across to his organization that if they work collaboratively, work together, that what they can produce is greater than what individuals can produce. So, if you think in terms of emotional intelligence, self-awareness, and empathy, what are ways that we as leaders, what can we do to make sure we're able to do that? And so there are three things. You can write these things down. The first one, and I'll come back through. One is to start with reflection. That's number one, to start with reflection. Number two is to listen more than you speak. Number two, listen more than you speak. And then number three, lead with empathy. The idea behind number one, start with reflection, that is an inner peace. At the end of the day, for those that are leading or managing groups, just kind of sit down and think about, were there any things that may have triggered me? What were my emotions during this day? What actually happened? Now, one of the ways, most people, it's interesting, I see a lot of people that carry their little journals. Journaling is a way to be able to capture those types of things that you review that. Number two, maybe a little difficult, but to listen more than you speak. The idea is that if you're leading a meeting, is that you're trying to kind of pick up the emotions that are going on in the meeting while you're there. Now here's the key to this. The key is being able to acknowledge the emotions that you feel and move the conversation forward. Not hard to acknowledge the emotions, but sometimes it's hard to get that conversation to keep moving forward. So that's the key, to be able to acknowledge the emotions and then be able to move that conversation forward. What was the third thing? Lead with empathy. So you got the example from not allow, lead with empathy, but the whole idea is that when we're able to put ourselves in someone else's shoes, then we're better able to make decisions that will benefit the group. Now here's commercial. This is a commercial break. Step out of this one. Okay. Just want you to keep in mind, as leaders, you are accountable for results. Because see, sometimes what happens, we start talking about emotional intelligence, we start saying these are soft skills, and this is nice, and all la-di-da, but this is the commercial. As a leader, you are accountable for results. The idea behind emotional intelligence is being able to use that behavior to help you get to where you need to get to. Because in every organization, there's a purpose. In our case, we have a mission, and that mission is to, what is it?
Empower individuals
to become more effective.
communicators.
But the idea is that in your organization, one of the things I like about that mission statement is that it's short. And you can remember it. You can remember why we're here, why we do what we do. If you think about the mission of the district, the mission of the club, it's just a variation of the mission of the organization. And any organization that you're in, you need to understand what the purpose, if you're Simon Sinek, what the why, of why are you here, and then the decisions that you make as leaders will connect to your mission, to your purpose, to your why. So what I like to charge you with, as I move on, is the fact that I want you to activate your superpower in emotional intelligence and look inward. Try to understand more about yourself and especially the emotions of others. And if you do that, you'll find that your leadership journey will transform and your teams will be better than ever. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Russell. Our next and final speaker is DTF and District 13 historian, Dana Mitnick. Dana joined Toastmasters in February 2010 when invited by his manager at BNY. Since then, he has served as a prior area governor and as a prior division director, the latter being 3 out of the past 7 Toastmasters years. Dana became a distinguished Toastmaster on June 30th, 2015. He is currently working on the affirmation of that status in the Pathways Educational Program since the first DTM was earned in the Legacy Communication and Leadership Tracks program. His current DTM project is to examine the history of District 13 and tell the story of such history. Today's presentation is an abridged version of his research. Dana presented, until recently, the Throwback Thursday segment on the district's Facebook page. He plans to resume this in 2025, which is the unabridged version. It is his hope that you, fellow District 13 Toastmasters, will learn and enjoy something from the research about those who impacted District 13 and the global Toastmasters organization and their accomplishments. Please welcome Dana Mitnick.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster and fellow District 13 Toastmasters. Throughout 2024, Toastmasters International commemorated 100 years as an organization. Personally, I like to refer to that as the century of speaking and the century of leading. So, as we commemorate 100 years of our great organization, what about District 13? What role did the district play in the first century of speaking and the century of leading? And I plan to share the abridged version with you today. So it all began on December the 2nd of the year 1939 with the formation of the Pittsburgh chapter, number 144. And raise it Toastmasters. Not only was it the first Toastmasters club in the District 13 area, it was the first Toastmasters club in the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. These are the names of the charter officers of the Pittsburgh Toastmasters, led by Mr. J.W. Sinar as president, Mr. M.D. Higgins as vice president, Mr. L.H. Larson, secretary-treasurer, and Mr. J.N. Duran, the sergeant-at-arms. Tim, Ruth, remember those names. Because these are the gentlemen that got us started. They were the true pioneers of Toastmasters in this area. So what about the year 1940, the first full year for Pittsburgh? It was a learning year where they learned what it meant to be a Toastmasters club and how to serve the community. They formed a speakers bureau, and they also helped out with various community drives and organizations throughout Pittsburgh. So while 1940 was a learning year, The real growth story doesn't begin until the next year, 1941, when the second club, charter number 181, was formed in Greensburg. Yes, Mr. Dalton, there was an original Greensburg Toastmasters. These 6 gentlemen here, led by Dr. Carol W. Freeman, top center. This is the oldest known photograph of any Pennsylvania Toastmaster that I could find. Also, these gentlemen's names were also the charter officers for the original Greensburg Toastmasters Club. And they really took what it meant to be a Toastmasters Club to heart, hosting club meetings at the YMCA, also holding satellite club meetings in Jeanette and the surrounding areas. Exciting times. But here's the most pivotal year, 1942, with the formation first of Jeanette Toastmasters, thank you original Greensburg in May, followed a couple months later by the Washington Toastmasters Club, which lives on today as the South Hills chapter. These are some of the charter officers. George Musey was an important person in that formation. You'll learn more about him later on. But again, Dr. Freeman, he was taking a seat for this event. So now we have these clubs. So it all only led to the key date, which is September 1st of 1942. At the Greensburg YMCA, the paperwork was completed and submitted to Toastmasters International, giving you District 13. What you see there is the excerpt from the Greensburg Daily Tribune, where Dr. Carol Freeman would serve as the first ever district governor. So then, 1 month after that, to commemorate the formation, they held the first ever District 13 conference at the Penn Albert Hotel in downtown Greensburg. And 2 of the keynote speakers were memorable ones. Day 1, the keynote speaker was Dr. Lewis Turner, who was instrumental in the formation of our neighboring district, District number 10. And then, to close out that first ever conference, the founder of International himself, Dr. Ralph Smedley, addressed the new district in his speech entitled Toastmasters Tomorrow and What Lies Ahead. Very well received by all those in attendance, which also had as guest members of the Rotary and the Kiwanis and other civic clubs to commemorate that. So in the starting of World War II, Toastmasters in District 13 was getting off to a great start. In fact, throughout 42 and 43, there was numerous growth. In the early days, District 13 actually encompassed the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So some could argue that you could call it the Keystone District just because of that. In fact, another first would happen right at the heart of World War II in 1944, when Dr. Carol Freeman, who was a promoter for the original Greensburg Toastmasters, the first district governor of District 13, became District 13's first ever international director. And in the introduction from the magazine, Dr. Carol Freeman had a cherished ambition, and that was to see Toastmasters clubs all throughout Western Pennsylvania and in the district itself. Needless to say, if he was alive today, he would be very, very pleased that we upheld that end of the bargain and took that goal and ran with it. So while most clubs were in Western PA, with the easternmost club being in Wilkes-Barre, and then we got the Steubenville chapter in Ohio, a gift from District 10. After the war, the expansion began in earnest. In fact, By the year 1947, now why do I focus on that year, you may ask? One club in particular got its start here in District 13, and they started in a dramatic fashion. Who wants to guess the club or the town in which they did it dramatically? Nope, nice try, Tim. Advance the slide, please. The city of brotherly love, the birthplace of a nation, appropriately called Philadelphia's first. And here's where the Drake theory of one greatest example began with a Minnesota Toastmaster by the name of Earl Slaughter. He accepted a job at the Philadelphia branch of the Studebaker Corporation, or as I like to call it, the first name in American transportation. Because if you're an automotive enthusiast, you know that name. And from there, he would begin the task of gathering individuals throughout Philadelphia to create a Toastmasters club. And then once they met it, here's the drama. Mr. Ivers, vice president, on a business trip, made a hand delivery to Dr. Ralph Smedley, with past international president Ted Blanding being the witness. And then to return the favor, the charter presentation was done by none other than Dr. Smedley himself and members right in front of the Liberty Bell. That's right, dramatic. That's right, Philadelphia got its start with us in District 13. So, more from the 1940s. Toastmasters comes to Cambria County with the formation of Barnesboro. Most likely that could have been the first ever corporate-based club in District 13 by virtue of the fact that the Barnes & Tucker Coal Company was the chief employer and executives may have been behind its formation. The very next year, Toastmasters comes to West Virginia with the formation of the Wheeling chapter. And then, for all you Beaver Toastmasters and those living in Beaver County, you got your first ever club with Beaver Valley in the same year. Very exciting times in the 1940s. So now let's go to the 1950s. We now reach North Central PA by 1952 with the formation of the Ridgeway chapter of Toastmasters. That spirit lives on with today's Elk County Toastmasters Club. But in 1952, International decided, District 13, you're too big geographically. We gotta cut you in half. So we had to say goodbye to the Philadelphia's First, Wilkes-Barre, and all those clubs in Eastern PA. They all became part of District 38. But we would not be deterred. For in 1955, if you recall, Mr. George Musey from the Washington Toastmasters, he decides to become an international director. But yet he wasn't done, and you'll see why later on. 50s were a great time. In fact, in the year 1958, Pittsburgh hosted the Toastmasters International Convention for the first and only time ever. And Dr. Smedley, of course, was a speaker at that event. And then by 1959, we expanded into Western Maryland with the formation of the Cumberland Toastmasters. That spirit lives on with today's Western Maryland Toastmasters Club. So they're resurrecting a tradition in the Maryland Panhandle that first started in that year. Also, it would be tremendous expansion within. Think about it. Clubs and places that Toastmasters clubs you didn't think would possibly exist, such as Wilmerding. Today, that club's now known as Dawn Patrol. Or a club in Salzburg along the Kiski River. Who would have thought? Just to give you some examples of the reach. So now we come to the year 1960, and at the 1960 International Convention, George Musey, who started as a charter member at Washington Toastmasters, reached the top of the Toastmasters International Mountain and would be elected international president at that convention. In fact, in my Throwback Thursday series, I did a multiple part series on his service as international president. In fact, he would go down as one of the greatest international presidents in the history of Toastmasters International by virtue that he oversaw global organizational expansion and also shoveled dirt alongside our founder when they built a new world headquarters towards the end of his tenure. So the 60s were exciting times indeed. So we moved to the mid-1960s. In 1965, the first greatest challenge yet came to not only Toastmasters, but also to District 13, when Dr. Ralph Smedley would pass from the earth. However, District 13 accepted the challenge of keeping what Dr. Smedley started going, and that was with Beaver Valley Toastmaster Ed White. He would become an international director and serve until 1968. In fact, that's not the only thing that Ed's famous for. In 1970, the Distinguished Toastmasters Award was established, and Mr. White became the first ever Distinguished Toastmaster in District 13. Not only that, he would be one of the first 15 in the whole entire organization to earn and receive the Distinguished Toastmasters credential. So we're talking about distinction. Let's move to the next year. The Distinguished Club and District program was launched. District 13 would achieve a Distinguished District status in the inaugural year, setting a standard. In fact, if we look at the next year, Mr. White was like, boy, being a DTM was fun. I'm going to do that again. And he earned the second DTM award that year, making him the first ever multiple-time Distinguished Toastmaster in the district. But perhaps another pivotal year would have been in '73, when we would finally welcome officially into Toastmasters clubs the woman Toastmaster. I mean, think about it. Prior to that, there would be 45% less Toastmasters in the room because of it. And that's a shame. A rotten shame. But at least they got it right that year. That's just my personal opinion. Also that year at the '73 World Championships of Public Speaking, Mr. David Johnson of Washington Toastmasters would be the WCPS runner-up. So let's keep going through here. In fact, there is Mr. Johnson up there. The very next year, he repeated as the runner-up in the World Championship of Public Speaking. This makes him the highest achieving competitive speaker out of District 13 to ever make it to place in the WCPS. So the 70s, again, good times for the district. And then in 1979, McKeesport Toastmaster, Mr. Vince DeGeorge, who holds the record for District 13 membership at 65 years, would begin his journey as an international director. Now, what's significant about Mr. DeGeorge's tenure? Two of his fellow international directors would go on to become historic international presidents. That's right, and I owe apologies to both of these international presidents because I had it marked pictured below, but apparently the slide deck cut it off. Shame on me is all I gotta say. But that's Ms. Helen Blanchard in 1985, first woman to ever serve as international president. And then the very next year, in 1986, the first African-American international president would serve, Mr. Theodore Wood. So he was serving alongside historic company for sure, and that's why his service is significant. But then we move on to the big 80s. Big moments in a big decade. We had a woman Toastmaster come to us in 1973. Well, 8 years later, Ms. Barb Geyer would serve as the first woman to serve as a District 13 governor or director. Her picture's on the left there. And then for some of us, these names and faces are well known and beloved, because by 86 and 87, Mr. Calvin Ray and Mrs. Ruth Ray would become the first ever husband and wife group to serve as district governor or directors in back-to-back Toastmasters years. In fact, Ruth wasn't done either. For by 1989, what a big way to close out the big 80s. Become the first woman ever in the history of District 13 to serve as an international director. So that's the first 50 years of District 13. And it took me 3 years to get to that point. Like I said, this is the abridged version. The unabridged version, we would still be here Monday morning at 7 a.m. That's how much information was unveiled. So, what about the start of our second 50 years? So in the 90s and the 2000s we go. The internet was being adopted. We were starting to go online by 2000. Some of my fellow Toastmasters in the room served as district governors or directors during that time frame. But most notably in 2008, we see Dr. Cal Sen lead District 13 during his governorship to select distinction. More notably, we became a global top 10 district for the first time ever, coming in at number 10. And that's quite an accomplishment and the most notable. So let's move on. We became a distinguished district at least 5 times in the 2010s, 2 of them being that of select distinction. And Mr. Drake was one of those district directors, governors, to achieve it. In fact, he wasn't done. In 2015, he served as international director. Quite the accomplishment. So good times throughout. But then came COVID. And District 13, as said at the time, challenge accepted. Led by Melissa McGavick. For District 13. And it was pivotal. Let's face it, COVID changed everything in our lives. And with a global event such as a pandemic reshaping it all, Toastmasters wasn't immune. In fact, let's focus on this year, 2024, okay? We found ourselves in a position where it could have been merged with another district due to having less than 60 clubs at the time. So we could have went with the left side of the Y in the road, or take a different direction, which I call the right side of the Y. We chose to take a different direction and a totally different course of action. I'm proud to say that that action resulted to what you see. Because it wasn't just the work of the Smedley Distinguished District Director Jing Humphreys, or our divisional directors, myself included.
Good time up there. Yeah.
It was the result of all the members,
Amen.
whether it was just achieving an educational award, or even as simple as joining a club, which I best describe as instant impact. We became a global top 10 club for the second time ever and achieved the highest ranking of them all, number 9. What a great to commemorate the century of speaking and a century of leading. So now, what lies in store for District 13 in the future? It's up to all of us. But then again, I bring this to you, and you're probably asking yourself, why are you spending, Dana, the past 3 years and beyond sharing all this with us and going over this with us? Here's the biggest reason of them all. When I started going down through and seeing the names of those who accomplished and came before us, a lot of you fellow Toastmasters are probably hearing the names aforementioned for the first time ever. And in a lot of cases, the names have been forgotten into history. But by doing this project, they shall be forgotten no more. Which leads us to the following question. What will be your contribution to the history of District 13? And how do you want to be remembered? We all want to leave a legacy, one of the human conditions, if you will, or a need of every human being. I dedicate this journey to all of those fellow Toastmasters who came before us, who led the way and left us a great legacy, as Melissa McGavick would say. I would like to thank everyone for your contributions, because we had several contributors, and without their knowledge, the project would not have been possible. However, there's still an opportunity. Now that I'm going to be starting back up with Throwback Thursday in the 1990s. If you're interested in offering anything up for the benefit of us District 13 Toastmasters, let me know, and I'll be more than glad to include it. Madam Toastmaster.
I'm speechless. I'm just taking it all in. That was great information.
Can you imagine what the unabridged?
I know. I usually always have something to say.
Thank you.
I would like to just say that we have every reason to be proud that we are members of District 13. Let's continue to grow and be great. I will now return control of this session back to Fred for district announcements and closing remarks. Thank you.
Fellow Toastmasters, didn't she do a fabulous job? Well done indeed. And didn't we have a wonderful lunch here, courtesy of the community college? Thanksgiving dinner was good. Hey, we have a couple things we want to talk about. If you'll open up your program books to page 9, Starting on page 9, to be more precise, in your programs and online folks, we sent this out to you last night, it should be in the chat box as well. We want to give a shout out to those who've done educational awards. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to ask all of you who completed a level 1 since May 1st up until today, would you please stand up and be recognized, level 1 completers? Level 1 is the foundational, and it's the consistent program across all 11 paths. When we move on to level 2, there are some foundationals, but recall that in pathways there are 2 directions. There's one for communication, and there's one for leadership. And so some of the programs or the projects are a little bit different. But we had a number of you who completed their level 2 this year, and we would like to recognize you as well. So if you completed a level 2, please stand up and be recognized. Well done. Level 3 is similar to college in the sense that now you have electives. There is a requirement for an item, but there's also now an option for electives. It depends which, when you started, it's either 13 electives or 14 electives, and a number of you have taken on that level and completed successfully your level 3. So please stand up and be recognized. Level 3 completed. Well done. The pressure mounts. Now we come to level 4. Level 4 has 1 required project, and then you get to choose among 7 electives. And this is where the project is more application-oriented. Consequently, those projects take a little more time to complete. But a number of you rose to the occasion, and you successfully met that challenge by completing your level 4. So please stand up and be recognized. Level 4 completed. Almost there, almost there. Level 5, of course, would be the last level in pathways, and the projects vary significantly. There is a required project. There are fewer electives to complete. Some of these electives are pretty demanding, and yet many of you rose to the occasion and completed that. So let's give a round of applause to those who completed their level 5. Congratulations to one and all. We had over 220 educational awards completed just since May. And I had to take a snapshot on November 24th. I'm sure there's probably another few dozen that have been completed in the last week or so. So congratulations to all. When you completed your level 5 or any of the levels, you received or you have access to in your profile a certificate of completion. But completing a path is different. And some people confuse that, hey, when I have my level 5, I finished the path. You haven't finished your path. There is one more project, and it's called Reflect on Your Experience. It requires an 8 to 10 minute presentation. When you successfully do that and you submit it to your education and it's approved, you then receive a certificate of proficiency. We do not have any means at the district level of tracking that. We can see who's completed levels 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but we have no visibility on who completed their certificates of proficiency. So we're somewhat compromised in saying who all exactly finished their paths. We don't know. So this is the honor system. We'd like all of you who've completed your paths. All of you who've completed your paths any time in the last year, please stand up and be recognized. Well done indeed. Thank you all for that. Again, in your programs, you'll see the names that were reflected in the base camp system. I'd like now to recognize a couple of folks. First of all, I'd like to recognize Toastmaster Cody. Where are you, sir? Cody from Allegheny Mountain, please stand up. Please remain standing, Cody. Cody is about to take an adventure into the unknown world. Is he going into gambling? No. Is he going into sports? No. Is he going on one of the next Elon Musk space travel? No. He's getting married on December 21st. You will find that your Toastmaster experience in communication is tested. And tested. And tested.
We have to add a requirement for the PAP of when knowing not to speak.
We need to get that to our CEO right away. When not to speak. Congratulations. We also would like to recognize Toastmaster Lynn Hitt. Come on down. If you all will open up your phones and open up the Toastmaster magazine, toastmaster.com, and look at page 8, what will you see? Let's turn around and look. What will you see? Oh my gosh. First of all, open this up and let them see the front cover. Show the audience. No, just turn around. For them to see. There you go. That's the front cover of the Toastmasters magazine. The ink is still drying. Is that hot? And next, just show this one here. This is the article that she wrote about her experiences.
You were in that room that day.
Yes.
Dana, Jean, Steve, Mary Ellen, and Fred. I wrote it to encourage each one of you to attend the contest, speech contest. It's like taking the best medicine with no side effect. Also, this is a surprise to me. Thank you, Fred, so much. The first time when I heard Fred spoke at Priority Speakers online, I thought, wow, speaking can be an art. And speaking English can also be an art as well. To me, all the requirements, to be clear, like Dave Jones said, to be clear, all the requirements, you have to set all the standard. And it's so difficult to achieve. But that journey of 3 months bring me to here. Thank you, Fred. And Fred, he is the major pillar of this district.
Yes, he is.
His experience, his knowledge, especially to the non-English speakers communities. I've seen ESL Club grown so much. Thank you for recruiting me to help that club. And transformation from the Penn Hills Club to ESL Club. ESL stands for Elegant Speakers and Listeners. Who should be actually here today, but her dad was sick and she called in from Taipei, Taiwan. Pretty much every meeting, 1 o'clock her local town. in the morning. And she is my longtime friend, Li Ling Liao. She will be here next week, next Thursday, and we have a big party planned for her, December 28th. So if you would like to join us, December 28th, we send out the invitation. Sam is the president of the Priority Club here. I belong to 4 clubs. I navigate through all this and just to keep myself in check. 4 clubs. Try anybody crazy, but I'm not crazy. And thank you, Fred.
Is it any wonder why she just grabbed your heart? Perhaps diminutive in stature, but gigantic when on stage. And you're a living proof how this project called Toastmasters really works. Congratulations to you, Len. Quick observation, a lot of people apply to submit articles to the Toastmaster magazine every month. I mean, they get hundreds, if not thousands. It's difficult to get selected, and yet she did. And last year in October, she was featured in the Toastmaster magazine as a traveling Toastmaster because she had been over in Taipei, Taiwan to see her mom. So you too, next time you're traveling, pull out your phone, have the Toastmasters magazine behind, have someone take a picture, and you too may start this amazing journey. And we knew her before she became famous. We next want to call on Subgrowth Director Kathy Wolf. She seems to have some ribbons in her hands.
So as many of you know, there are a lot of district leaders here today, and I have ribbons to celebrate some of them, and some to celebrate the clubs that I've joined. I'm in 4 clubs in this district too. Thanks, Jane. So real quick, if there's somebody here from ProMasters, from South Hills, you already have yours. Why are you raising your hand? Okay. Somebody from ProMasters, somebody from Priority Speakers. I don't think I saw ACC here. And we did South Hills, Priority Speakers,
ACC and ProMasters.
ACC and ProMasters. Yeah, my 5th
See, I
club
know
is in
your
Houston.
club's more than you.
All right, come up here and get a club. Come, not you, you have one. Come get a ribbon. But Priority Speakers doesn't want their ribbon.
I said
So
it's
you're
Someone set me up for this, so.
Alright, so Area A, which we do have, Division A, we do have an area director here, but he also already has his ribbon. So if I could have Julia come up. Just let everybody know who your area directors are.
Marcy Antion. Yay, Marcy! And Douglas McCall, Area 3.
There you go. Which means there's an open spot, so if you really think these ribbons are cool, we can definitely hook you up, okay? All right. I believe TJ's here too. Do you want to come on up? Just let us know.
Julia didn't take her ribbon.
Alrighty, for the area directors for Division C, we'll start off with Area 21. Ms. Sandy Shabani, please stand up and give Area 22, I don't know if I see her online, but Carly Chivaroli is the Area 22 director. And Area 23, just like Kathy has mentioned, is an open position. So it's open. And of course you get an awesome ribbon as well. And then Area 24 is Conley Byam. And that is the Division C area directors.
Then for Division D, I believe Susan's online. She's still there? Hiding somewhere? So I know we have Jen Aguilar, who is from Canada, but is helping out our district. So all of you live closer than Canada. So those 2 spots, nice, easy fit for you, right? Okay. We have Penda James, who's from North Carolina, and I think you're even closer than that, so really good. We have Lori Davis for 34. Who did I forget? Oh, and Dawn, our new area director. So come get your ribbon. So not only the club, area director too, because she filled one of those open slots. And then that just leaves, do I have any area directors from B here? Come on. Oh, one more thing. If you're not ready to be an area director tomorrow, which I do highly encourage because it's a great way to get started, but you would like to have a district office next year, nominations are open. Just email dlc@d13tm.com.
Thank you. We're coming down to the home stretch here. Just a couple quick items. Michelle, I think you wanted to share some information about the Just Speaking Club. Take it away, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Fred. Hi, everyone. Glad to be zooming in from Hanover, Pennsylvania, which leads me to my point about Just Speaking. All of you are more than welcome to come join us at Just Speaking. We are an online club. Our focus is on adding humor to your speeches, to your everyday life. Our next meeting is going to be on Friday, January 3rd at 6:30 p.m. You are all welcome to attend. We would love to see you there, see your smiling, laughing face on the screen, so you can find out how much fun we have. We meet on the 1st and 3rd Friday of the month, and all of you Toastmasters are welcome to join us. We have a great time. We have a joke master, we have a humor master, we do improv, we have prepared speeches that are indeed evaluated. So please feel free to join us. Have a fun kickoff to your weekend, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday, January 3rd at 6:30.
Thank you, Michelle. Let's now give a warm welcome to our immediate past district director, Shane Humphrey.
So I got to follow all of those. Well, District 13, this is a celebration, right? We're celebrating. You saw the picture of everybody on stage. You weren't able to come to Anaheim, California, but we're going to have a little mini party in about 15 minutes. We'll take a short break just so we can set up. As you can see, I've got one side of the room decorated with the banner that we took to Anaheim and was holding up in that picture. That's the actual banner. And if I can make a shameless plug, my daughter designed this banner, and she's away in college. She's in Amsterdam. Go figure. Yes, Mom just makes it happen. And just so proud of everybody. When we celebrate later, and I do hope every single one of you stays, because I have a ribbon, a centennial ribbon, In this centennial year, when we achieved number 9 in the world, Smedley Distinguished, each club in the district is going to get a commemorative centennial ribbon that you could put with your club banner or however you want to show that. And I have all of those here, so please take it home with you. And I want to give it to you in person to thank you, so please stay. And for those of you online, please stay and see who might be recognized during this event. So I hope that you all stay, because I have lots of awards, as you can see on the table. There are 34 trophies in there, and one of them might be for your club. But even if there's no trophy for your club, there might be something else to be recognized, so just you have to wait and see. So thank you for a great year that ended June 30th, 2024. Thank you for the current year, as we're moving forward, already chartered 2 clubs with 1 more to come, and we're going to hear more about that later. I hope you had a great time, and where did Fred go? I'm supposed to turn. Oh, Fred's like, it's okay, you can be the last person to talk. So at this time, let's take like a 5-minute break, or get a bio break, reseat yourselves, get another drink. 3 o'clock, I have more snacks coming to feed you all, because food, fun, and fellowship equals Toastmasters. So we're going to celebrate, look at the slide deck of the year that was and all the awards that were being presented, and then we're going to have some snacks at 3 o'clock, and then I gave Steve a playlist to play some music, and maybe YMCA is one of those things that are on there. So there might be some YMCA dance party happening later, so please stay and enjoy and network, and we'll see you in about 5 minutes. Thank you all.
So I have a quick question. So I have a slide deck that I want to use.
Is this the one that Fred gave to me?
No, I is that something right?
Just plug it in right here on the press.
So is it a C?
Plug it in.
Have a C to HDMI?
No.
So should I just join the Zoom and then?
You can do that and give me the presentation here.
Okay. So if I join Zoom, it won't be on this big screen, right?
It would be on that screen. But if you send me the presentation, if you send the presentation to me, I can put it here.
Where's the secret movement?
Hi, Sharon.
That was exactly what I was so quick with this one.
You don't jump in. You don't, right. You don't jump in. Right. That's right. And then get to say hi.
Hi, I want to meet you in person. I saw you were there every now and then. I never find this person.
Oh yeah.
And I asked you the other day.
How did your open up?
Thank you. I know. I
was interested to be here today too. She was on the list.
That was such a how can you just add on your otherwise nothing can happen.
She coming Yeah, I know. Like I haven't even like, oh my gosh, it's that's only it's too big.
What do you mean it's too big? What to send to me? Can you send a telegram? Okay, then, let's see. Do you have a USB stick? I know that Dave Jones,
I just joined seminary. I moved over there. I moved from Winter. And then I just started so we're just starting. So it's a corporate, it's my company. So I'm trying, like I need pioneers who are more established. Lots of experience.
Give me 1 second, I'm downloading your music.
Everybody. Lots of PTMs. So I haven't been able to get there regularly yet. Schedule probably Mondays become a little bit even on it's just I had to transfer. I didn't know how long it would take them to get the charter, and then they probably just need to get in the local. I noticed, and I live 10 minutes from one of these. So like it's good. Do you work from home? I work half an hour. At the bottom. Right outside of the town center. And so that's where Moon was physically. Now we started at corporate level. We started to feel this. And I kind of get a kick that is phenomenal. And I had paperwork like I was there this is the best opportunity I've seen that the company offers.
Good job today.
What? Yeah, thank you. Thanks to you.
I know you're probably by yourself. I mean, you don't have your brother Carly.
Well, he's there. Well, Carly is. Yes. Well, he got it.
And then I want to know, am I advancing it from there?
There is a clicker that whoever was the last presenter should have put it back up there. So if it's not there, then it's a problem. There is a clicker. It should be up there on that.
This is my why. This is why I'm going to and then boom, 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 all these other things.
Yeah, I love it. I love seeing
I love it. So like, totally, it's not boring at all. Because then you go into that celebration. It was perfect. I'm glad to meet you. Physically, we're at the Galleria in Mount Lebanon. Yeah, it's not that. That's it. And we start at 6. Second.
I'll go try to see if I can get it out.
Physically and virtually, or
Yeah, I knew that
What's that? Hold on, I'll be right there. Okay, you're live.
These are more people.
Yeah.
I heard somebody else say
10 seconds, please have a seat. 10 seconds. 7, 6. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Thank you. Thank you. Wow, you can hear a pin drop. Woo! Oh, I like that. Was that Star Trek? See, I'm a Trekker. Trekkie. No, Trekker. Lower decks. Lower decks. I know, right? For those of you who know what that is. All right, everybody take a seat. We are starting the slideshow right now. And everybody's online, hopefully can hear me. I can't see you. Oh, look at that, there's more people that joined. Right. Awesome, awesome. Hey, this year wouldn't have happened without all 63 clubs in District 13 who made this happen. And I know only 34 of that made distinguished or better this past year, but that was the most we ever had in the since COVID. So we're still recovering from the pandemic days, but we finished strong. And we actually started turning in the other direction about a couple years ago. So we had excellence in program quality. We achieved Distinguished Gold 2 years ago. And then of course last year to finish the year as wishful thinking, number 9 in the world. And let me just say that not only were we number 9 in the world, we were the only district in North America to achieve Smedley. So, for those of you who aren't familiar with how many districts there are in the world, there are now 130 districts in the world in 150 countries with about 300,000 Toastmasters and 14,500 clubs. So if you didn't realize you were a member of a global organization, I hope that today, with the history, with this celebration, that you're able to realize that in the 100 years of Toastmasters, District 13 has played a really impactful part in all that. So the way this is going to go, because not everybody was able to make it in person, but we're going to recognize the few that are in here and online. So each one of the 63 clubs that were comprising our district last year gets one of these, only available once every 100 years, Centennial Commemorative Ribbon. And I wish it was longer like the other ones, but you can put double stick tape on the back or sew it onto your banner, because none of us will be here in 100 years to get the next one, right? So, speak for myself. Yeah, thank you, point taken. So if you are a member of the club, all I ask is that we need to identify which clubs are getting this, who are not one of the 34. So how this is going to go is we're going to call on the distinguished clubs, and then select distinguished clubs, and then president's distinguished clubs. And as you get your trophy, you'll also get a ribbon. But I digress, because the first order of business is to recognize the 7 clubs, count them 7, Super 7 clubs that were chartered in District 13 for the 2023-2024 year, starting with CGI Voices on February 8, 2024. Toastmasters a few weeks later on March 1st. Then we have Du Bois Toastmasters on April 1st. No joke! And then at the end of the month, we had Hola Toastmasters, which is a corporate club charter on April 30th. And a special by its own recognition to Western Maryland, and I see that Sharon and her husband are online because, as you can see from our Smedley banner, we are serving Western Pennsylvania, Northern West Virginia, parts of Ohio, and Western Maryland, but we couldn't say that if we didn't have a club in Western Maryland. So for the very first time in 30 years, this group chartered. So thank you so much. On May 31st, 2024, we welcome Westmoreland. Oh wait, there's more. In June, we had GE Toastmasters. Who can tell me what GE stands for? Giant Eagle. Giant Eagle. Not General Electric people. Giant Eagle. So we chartered both of these clubs before 11:59 p.m. Mountain Time. And Gwen's Girls, which was sponsored by Dr. Elizabeth Carter. I thought she was going to be here today or online. But congratulations to all these clubs that we chartered between July 1st, 2023 and June 30th, 2024. And special thanks to Fred Warnbrock, who was club director. We'll just keep going. Okay, and here's where we landed. And earlier today, we met the Ned Appa All-Stars, chartered on October 14th. Not only did we get a charter club, we got an area director out of it, and she had to leave, so Kathy, I gave her one of these to commemorate. So we welcome them, and the Thermo Fisher Toastmasters. Congratulations, and thank you so much for doing that. And now, the District Hall of Fame is actually starting. Start with, okay, I just can't get over how beautiful this banner is. Again. Okay, for those of you who didn't realize, those are the state flags of all of the states that we service, right? So yeah, I'm very proud of this. Smedley Distinguished. What did we do to get there? A little reminder, if you've never seen the dashboard, 34 distinguished or higher clubs, and we only needed 33, but you know what? We'll put one in there for us. So thank you to that club who put us over. We got 63 of 63. And when I tell you that every single club that was on our roster became a paid club because they wanted to be part of this historic milestone, that's what happened there. And we only needed 2,224, but we ended up at 2,253. So District 13 has a history of making an impact, of going over and above and beyond the expectation. We started this several years ago on a turnaround, so I encourage you all to keep going. All right. Losing it. Distinguished clubs. If you are a member of a distinguished club, Newcastle's First, Cranberry Area, Covestro, Top Tons, Mercer, Allegheny Airport Authority, Bayview, let's see, Beacon VA, Culturally Speaking, please come on up and receive your award. So this is Distinguished Clubs, right? Okay, so the distinguished clubs are over here. So which club are we? Newcastle. I got a Newcastle's First, so stand and be. So we're gonna keep standing. All right. So Tana's helping me. This is just a distinguished club. So if you're not a distinguished club, okay. What club, Jim? Cranberry Area. Yeah, and what else? Bayview. Okay. All right, so can we have a photo up in front of the, huh? Okay, yeah, sure. Awesome. Area Director for Mercer. Hey, you want to take a distinguished club trophy and you promise to put it in? Okay, so where do we want to stage them for a photo, Jim? Just right here or over by the Smedley banner? Let's go over by the Smedley banner, folks, and take a moment to do that. All right, so let's see. I got Newcastle first, Cranberry area, Mercer. I thought we had somebody from Allegheny Airport Authority here. Did he leave? Who do I have left? Cavesho. Okay, Beacon was represented as well. I'm trying to be organized. I have a list in front of me and I'm making X's to make sure that they got it. All right. While that's happening, if you are from Allegheny Mountain, State College, Greensburg, Pittsburgh, ProMasters, and BPMI, please come up and get your select.
Wait a minute, Jane, are you going to come over here?
Oh. I'm transporting.
You win.
Okay.
I was going to say, Jane, come over there, everybody.
You got it?
I know.
It's okay.
Get in the middle.
Oh, what was that? Just to keep me in check, right? All right, if you're from the Select Distinguished Clubs, please come forward. Anybody here from these clubs?
Yep.
All right. Of course there are. So, which one are you taking? ProMasters? It's the second row, huh?
I don't have a glass of
Okay.
ProMasters. Who's looking for ProMasters?
Okay, here you go.
Greensburg Club?
Greensburg. Here you go. Oh.
State College Club.
Who doesn't have a ribbon? Patty?
This is for State College. I'm doing a proxy.
All right, so picture moment. All right, so we got Estate College. Who was it? Allegheny Mountains and BPMI. I know, right?
Number one, ProMasters.
It's all good. I'm just long
I'm getting my steps in.
State College. State College Club.
I got it, Mark. And take one without me in it. Also, yeah. That way you can post it. I'll explain later. All right. And now, drum roll, please. The President's Distinguished Clubs of District 13 are. All right. So we got Achievers Just Speaking, Baker Square, Priority Speakers, Beaver Area, ESL Elegant Speakers and Listeners, North Hills, Lift Every Voice, Erie's, Early Birds, Johnstown, Woman to Woman, Bettis, Cranberry High Noon, Erie Insurance, Penn State Pingers, Indiana, Westinghouse, South Hill! Come on down! Come on down, it's the third row, Robert. Third row. Oh, and pick a ribbon while you're at it. Okay. Bakery Square. Get a ribbon. Here's a ribbon.
Anybody from Erie Insurance? Cranberry High Noon. Cranberry High Noon. Bettis. Woman to Woman. Johnstown.
Priority speakers. All right. Anybody from? Okay.
ESL.
Hey Patty, can you tell me who's not here? Hang on a second.
Okay, so
Who is? Westinghouse isn't here?
Erie Insurance. Say it nice and loud in case they're here. Bettis.
Woman to woman. Earring.
All right. Give 5 cents.
Oh, this is a larger group. You need to be too deep. All right. Yeah, put some chairs in front of you. If you're a member of that club, go in there. Come on, once in a lifetime. You remember that club, go in there. You still meet at the party? Awesome.
Make sure your face is loud. Color is going to change one so we can make sure our face is being seen.
Toastmasters! Smedley! All right. Take one without me in it.
Jim Kinnear is the official one. Here.
This is Jeff. Yay, everybody, Jeff.
Hi, Jim.
All right, Division 8 Top Club. This club, as you can see, had 10 of 10, 27 educational awards, and 9 new members. Is there anybody from the Bettis Club here? I don't think they were here today. But if your division director can maybe pick up the top
Thank you, Mike.
club award. Thank you. And let's see. Hang on. I'm missing a box. Where's that box? Did I?
Oh, do you want to use my box?
The little box. Yes. Thank you. All right, hang on a second, Julia. We're multitasking here. The problem with keeping things a secret is you can't tell anybody, so then you have nobody to help you, right? Because this is a commemorative magazine for the 100th anniversary of Toastmasters, and the top club in each division is going to get a copy of the award with their certificate, so congratulations. And once we get all 4, we'll take a photo. All right, and then in Division B, this club had 10 of 10, 29 educational awards, and 9 new members. Congratulations to the Early Birds Club. Oh! Come on up, Robert, and get the certificate. Early Birds. Congratulations to the Early Birds Club, and here's a magazine. And you and Julia can head on to the staging area for a photo shoot. All right, we make it do. Now, in Division C, this club had 10 of 10 goals accomplished, 14 educational awards, and 12 new members. Please congratulate Penn State Pingers. Not the least, in Division D, this club had 10 of 10 goals, 21 educational awards, and 19 new members. Congratulations to Bakery Square. All right, anybody from Bakery Square? Distinguished areas. Because we hit Smedley last year, these are the distinguished area directors. So Darlene, I hope she made it online. She was really trying to be here in person. But please congratulate with me Darlene Schneeberger, Priyank Anantarajan, and Colleen Barnum. Distinguished area. Hey, where's Darlene? Talk about Darlene for a moment. So Darlene, I have a gift for you, which is in the box there. All right, congratulations and thank you. Would you like to say a couple of words?
Thank you for the experience. It was a great experience. And I met so many great people, and I grew so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your hard work. All right, what's next? I better be more prepared, my goodness. Again, when you're keeping things a secret, no excuse, right? Another box, but wait, there's more. I'm feeling it. So the select distinguished areas, I know some of you are here. Alita Richmond, select distinguished area. Come on now. Did Tana leave? Do you see a picture up here? Oh, Cameron! Cameron, I'm gonna send her gift home with Robert. Okay, Cameron? So.
Sounds good.
So, Robert, if you could take the award for select distinguished area. Yeah, Cameron is recuperating. Take care, buddy. All right. So what's after select? Are we done?
President's distinguished.
Are there any presidents select? Take Lindy Riley's award. Bob's like, I'll take it. Yeah. And please hold on to the photo booth. Like we have a photo booth.
Hey, Bob.
So what's next after President's distinguished areas? We have some district directors. Steve, can you click on the Theory 1-star awardees? If you're here, at least just show the people who received the Theory 1-star award. So, starting and completing a new level, this was the criteria last year. Achieving a second level and recruiting a new member, which is tied to the district or to the club goals, which help their club but also help them. It's like halfway to a triple crown. So we got Priyank, Marcy, and Jack. Congratulations. And I have a star pin for y'all if you're here, so we'll make sure to get it to them. We got Colleen, myself, and Jim Kinnear. You get a star. And we got Cameron, Patty, and Tony. Does somebody want to get for Tony? Oh, come on down. Tony! And then, oh, congratulations. And then And we've got Robert, Jackie, and Kathy.
Robert.
Marcy, and
My district director already gave me mine.
Where'd Robert go?
You already gave me mine.
Oh, I did?
I'll take another one if you want.
Well, you can hold it for the photo op. How's that? How did I give you one? There was not an award before. Oh, you mean a TLI? Did I do that? All right. Well, just for the photo. So these people are helping move the chains. You know, in the educational awards, 60% of the Distinguished Club will go, and then the new members, 40% or 20% of the Distinguished Club goal. Thank you very much. All right, let's get back to the slide deck, because there's more awards to be given. I know, right? But wait, there's more. Okay, what are you saying? Hey, when you get to do what I get to do, you can talk about it. This is the fun part. All the hard work is done. All right. Next slide is, we are honoring with the District Director Award, the PR team last year. So Terry Ann Porter was from District 22. We didn't have a PR manager. She joined us after September. She's in a whole entire district. And we got Jim Kinnear, who became our PR assistant, and Cameron Sorsa, who was the webmaster, who I probably talked to them more than I talked to any other district leader last year because of the communications. So Terry Ann, Cameron, and Jim, thank you and congratulations. And I have an award for, Jim is here in person, so Jim, please come on over and take your award. Suitable for framing. Congratulations. And Cameron and Terry Ann, I have your awards, and I will mail yours, Terry Ann, and Cam, I'm going to send yours over home with Robert. Steve is trying to say, Jing, do this, do that.
Good.
Thank you, Steve. Here's for Cameron. And Terry Ann, yours, it's in the mail. Terry Ann, I'll give you a chance to say a few words if you would like.
Cameron was on too.
It was an honor to meet and work with all of you. And thank you very much. I learned a lot.
ProMasters.
Yes, she's a member of ProMasters too. Is Sharon still online? Sharon Hines? Do we know? Did she leave? Our next Director Award is for Sharon, who is the sponsor and charter member of the aforementioned Westmoreland Club. Be online, okay, girlfriend? Because I wanted to be able to acknowledge your efforts. The turnaround time on chartering this club was just incredible. And I'm going to listen more than I speak right now and have you tell the story of how Western Maryland came about.
Oh, can you hear me well?
Yeah. 2 minutes.
Okay, well, I'll do it in 1.5. How about that?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We must give credit to Dana. Dana, the first time we met, Dana told Gary, oh, you're in Western Maryland. We need to get a club started there. And that was the genesis, I believe, of...
That was the start. Shout out to Dana. That was the start.
When we got married and moved down here, I said, okay, Dana gave us a commission. We've got to get started. And because like this Toastmasters are driving an 1.5 hours to Laurel Highlands in Pennsylvania, that took us a while, 3 hours on the road just for an 1.5 hour meeting. So we decided to get started. So we met people at grocery stores, at the bank, on the streets, in the community, his school friends, his family members around, and we're gonna get this going. And Fred has been such an, Mr. and Mrs. Von Brock has been, the district as a whole came together and supported us so well. And the people in the community were hungry for something to help grow their communication and leadership skills. And I gotta tell you, there are more people who are in need of building their communication and leadership skills than we think. If we didn't know how many are secretly needing this for their jobs, for their families, for their personal development, we'll be reaching out more. And with that, and Gary has been an amazing assistant. I am so proud because starting a club by yourself is a challenge. Getting a team of people to help you, it works so much better. So from the inception of the idea from Dana, Gary would say, okay, we can do this. And by him saying we can do this, he didn't just say it, but he put himself into it and he put his funds into it. Lashley Construction, our company, was a major sponsor of many of the flyers and the labels and the little things that make a difference and gives publicity to our community. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Dana, Fred, Mary Ellen, Jean, the encouragement, and Patty Toll, and Jim, Cameron, TJ, Nate, Darlene. All of you are making Western Maryland Toastmasters an amazing place to be. We have active meetings and members, and we are grateful because you guys helped us birth Western Maryland Toastmasters Club, and you continue to support us, and we couldn't do it and grow without
30
you.
plus.
30 plus, yeah, and we have...
Wow, right? 30 plus members, first time in 30 years. We thank you so much for your dedication and support and to be able to turn this around. Congratulations, well done. I'm so glad we're here to see this awarded. I'll send it in the mail to you. All right. So what's next? Area Director of the Year. Who do we think it is? Oh, we'll just show the slide. Well, we wouldn't have a, let's see, what's next? I guess I better get ready.
Division Director of the Year.
Vision Director of the Year. There's only 4 to choose from, so you have a 25% chance of getting it right. Do we have any guesses? President's Distinguished Division, Cassie Libovitz from Division B. There were a lot of distinguished, select, and president's areas within that division. So congratulations, Cassie. The plaque is in the mail. Does anyone belong to a club that Cassie belongs to that could take this back with her? Or? I think she's... Oh, Cassie! Congratulations! All right, well, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, and I was hoping to be in person today, but that didn't work out, so I apologize, but this is quite a surprise. I could not have done this though without all of the hard work of all of the area directors and everybody else on my team last year. So thank you so much. I'm honored to receive this award, but more so I'm honored to have worked with such a wonderful group of people. So thank you very much.
All right.
All right, thank you. I didn't give TJ a chance to talk, but now that he's collected his emotions, do you want to say a few words, TJ Rose?
Yeah, I'll say. Well, yeah, of course it is Toastmasters, after all. Wow, well, first off, I have to thank my home club, the Johnstown Toastmasters. I mean, from where I come from, you know, it never comes so easy. But when you have an amazing support of amazing Toastmasters, it makes life a lot better. And then I want to give a very special thanks to the division director of that year, Mary Allen, because if it wasn't for her, you know, we would be where we're at today. So I want to give a thanks to Mary Allen. I like to thank my mom and but I also want to thank like everybody that's not with me today. I would like to give them personal thanks. Thank you.
I feel like a board watching an awards show. So we saw great examples of how to accept an award when you don't know that you're getting it. But I think the camera should pan out to the people who didn't get an award to see their reaction. Am I right? All right, so we did the Division Director of the Year. And now, did you know there was such a thing as Toastmaster of the Year? Yes. So what do you think the criteria would be for Toastmaster of the Year?
Amazing.
So Toastmaster of the, Tamika. Education. Sponsored members.
Mentoring.
What was that?
Mentoring.
Mentoring. So anything you can think about as far as what a Toastmaster should already be doing, that affected not just their club, not just their area, not just their division, but the district. And I am so proud to present this award to this person, because this person has been, you know, in the background most of the time, and really they need to step out of their comfort zone and they come out, but they live in the background, but they've helped so 55% of the room is already, she has helped so many people, not just this year, but in years prior. So please congratulate with me our District 13 Toastmaster of the Year.
Thank you. This is very unexpected, and you know, a lot of this for Fred. Thank you. But Stephanie for having the confidence to ask me a few years ago to be the area director, and Jane and I have worked together for a while just to pull things up, and I want everybody from Greensburg, Mike and James and Achievers, TJ and Sandy, the Tiggs who are, I think, still online, and Sharon, working with Sharon through Laurel Highlands. But a big part of what I did as division director was TJ, Colleen, Pri, and Nana. Just, I couldn't have been there without the four of them. But thank you so much. And if I can do this, anybody can. And just thank you.
All right. Well, now that we've congratulated everyone, here's another picture with more people on the side that was cut off from the first picture. The people in here that are not part of our district, or you might be like, who are these people? So we've got region advisor, we've got our club growth mentors, advisor, we've got our international director, and people that have supported us in District 13 over the years, so they shared a stage with us. Matt Kinsey, a past international president, was there as well. So thank you, District 13. Congratulations to all of you. In this 100th year, take a moment and just realize what impact you've made, not just on your own club, and then your area, your division, your district. But think about outside of Toastmasters in your own life. How have you changed? How have you changed for the better? Are you more confident? Are you more willing to take on responsibility? Are you more willing to encourage people to come along for the ride? Because at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of strangers who became friends, who became a family. So in District 13, this family is something that I don't want to give up, don't feel like giving up anytime soon. And I hope that you continue the journey as we move forward and hopefully keep going. And who knows, we might get a Smedley back to back, we just don't know, right? But it started with a dream and a vision and determination, focus, and intention from all of you together. And so thank you very much to all. At this point in time, I'd like the deck members from last year who are present, please stand up. So if you were a division director, area director, if you were the finance manager, if you were the admin manager, if you were any of that, please stand up and be recognized. The trio members, thank you and congratulations to all of you. Make your way, I want to give you a copy of the Centennial magazine to take home and commemorate your year that was. Thank you again, and the food should be coming in at 3 o'clock. It's now 2:55, so please enjoy the treats that are coming our way in just a few minutes, and take this time to network, engage, and make plans for the future.
Before we pass out those coveted, highly in demand celebration magazines, and they are top shelf, we have a couple things for you.
Oh.
So if we could grab those items that are on those tables.
I get an award too. But it was so much fun to give stuff away.
First of all, Kathy, if you could tell us what we have in the small.
Behind box number 1.
Very small box. We have a super portable award for our first.
It's a new car.
Yes, a new car.
It's a key.
It's a super portable award for James for being district director, taking us to first time ever Smedley Distinguished.
This will live on my desk if I don't ruin it before Monday.
Don't ruin it, James. Just don't break it.
Ooh, they spelled my name right. Yes. They usually don't mess up Jing. It's the other name that they... Thank you. Appreciate that.
And in addition to the super portable award, we want to give her a bag to carry it in.
Yeah. Thank you so much, District 13. It's been a fun ride.
Thank you, Jean, for your wonderful leadership the past year to get us to
Meeting over. Okay. For the deck members who would like a copy of this entire magazine, let's go. And so the food's gonna come out. Steve, we're gonna play some of my favorite songs so that we can dance to. And that is on the playlist, Stephanie Scott. So Steve, take it away. Thank you again, Steve Sokolowski. This meeting is now adjourned.